Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back. You're watching iAllegedly, and it's kind of fitting. I am at the Balboa Fun Zone, and it is an absolute ghost town right now. I don't think I've seen it much like this, where there's just nobody here. But this has got the Ferris wheel right here. It's got the arcade, but nobody here. You've got the ferry taking cars to Balboa Island. There in the distance. But this economy, guys, is a complete mess. This economy is a complete smoke and mirror magic show, and we are living through history, guys. We are living through some very dark times right now that I think in 10 years you're gonna look back and we're gonna think about these individual days, weeks, months, but so much is happening right now that is completely unbelievable, and there's a ton of stuff to share with you right now. There's a group of economists, the National Business Association of Economists, which doesn't that sound like a really fun group? 47 economists that have downgraded all their predictions for the third quarter, which is what we're in right now. So I've always wanted to see economists sit there and say, this is what's gonna happen. Not only are they gonna do that right now, but they're saying it's much worse than they anticipated. So before I get into it, please take a second, hit the like button, please hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification. Remember the scammers and the spammers, only I can highlight a comment when I highlight it, plus every time I comment to you guys, I heart it. If you don't see that, they're spammers. So let's get into it, guys. Now, these 47 economists got together, and they are predicting that our gross domestic product will only be at 5.6% the next time it's reported, down from 6.7%, which they're trying to say, it's a great number, but please understand that they've downgraded us. Every time they've ever made these predictions, they've been completely wrong. And this time, they're gonna be wrong again, because I don't think it's gonna be 5.6%. The other thing that they also predicted is that annualized growth for our entire economy is going to be at 4%, down from 6.6%, which is absolutely huge, which means that things are going at a snail's pace right now. Now, the worst one of them all is that they say inflation annualized is going to be at 5.2%, which none of us believe at all. None of us believe that remotely that that's going to be the number. They say it was originally going to be 2.9, and they're pushing it up. But one thing that they're pushing is that everything is completely off right now in the economy, okay? It's just done, And again, this is not the season, guys. It's not fair to be out here during this time of the year, but this is the economy. It's closed. It's just done, okay? That's what's happening right now. Guys, what's happening right now is something that is not normal in any way, shape, or form. There are so many vacancies down here. There are so many empty businesses down here. Now you can sit there and say, well, Dan, there's nobody there. Great, but this is not normal for anything. Gas prices here in Southern California, as I was driving here, they just said the average average gallon of gas, in Orange and LA County is $4.30 for regular unleaded gas, which is insane, okay? I haven't seen it that cheap, but I know people around the country are complaining about $3 gas. So share your thoughts on that. I really want to know what you think. Plus, as far as supply, we're seeing real problems with this. A friend of mine who is not healthy right now, and I went to the store for her to do her a favor and get her water and different fruit and vegetables and things that she wanted, and couldn't find water bottles anywhere in the store after I shopped for everything. So I asked the store, hey, where are the water bottles? Oh, we have them hidden in back. so people don't, hoard them and take them. But people don't even know you have them. So the guy didn't like my joke when he said, "How many do you want?" And I said 25. He didn't think that was funny, but so I felt real lucky because I got 3 cases so whoopee. One person that we're hearing more from than ever is Jerome Powell himself, the head of the Fed. Okay? Jerome stepped forward and said, "I want to make it clear that inflation, we said it was transitory, not to worry, it is going to moderate now. Inflation will moderate." Okay, who uses words like this? I guess the Fed does, okay? And he and Janet Yellen are going to speak to Congress this week and talk about tapering as early as November now. So they could stop their asset purchases and slow them down. Right now, they say that they're buying $120 billion a month, and they could slow this down substantially. So expect to hear much more from Jerome Powell in the coming days as inflation moderates. And he says, don't worry, we're going to get inflation back down to 2%, which nobody breathing or that has a credit card or that has a job or buys anything believes that. That being said, the Senate Republicans just voted also to shut down our economy by averting the spending package from the Democrats. So this will be an exciting end of the month in September, guys. So we could actually see a government shutdown. It'll be interesting to see. I'm right outside the Balboa Pavilion, guys. You ever had drinks there? Anyways, food was good, it's bad, it's good, it's bad. Okay, haven't been there in a few years. But anyways, share your thoughts on this. It's going to be interesting to see if they actually do have a government shutdown and what will happen. Cats will be living with dogs. It'll rain frogs. I mean, okay, who knows, guys? But it will be interesting. T-shirt vendors open. So share your thoughts, guys. I want to know what you think. Do you care about the government shutdown? I can't wait to see the comments because I know people are going to say, no, I don't care. Okay? So share your thoughts, guys. I really am curious. Now, what happens during a government shutdown? Non-essential workers don't go to work. Basically, we had this happen a couple years ago. And look at this, guys. This used to be a BJ's Pizza. And it's now for lease. So you too could pay about 30 grand a month for rent and sell something. Anyways, last time this happened, there was 800,000 workers that accumulated back pay. They would get paychecks sent to them that would say $0 on them because they can't get paid during that time. So, but the one thing that they really don't talk about is these people got paid back pay, plus they got paid interest on the back pay when they eventually did get paid. So nobody wants to sit there and not get paid. And again, they're like the rest of us, where they probably live paycheck to paycheck and they've got rent to pay. But through September 30th, the government is funded. After September 30th, October 1st, they're not funded. So again, it will be interesting to see what happens. You've got all these bars and restaurants out here that take as much space as they can. They get these different areas with the temporary tables and stuff. So when it is busy on the weekends, they can get as many customers as possible. This is the Balboa Pier, which is beautiful, and we've been to before. And Balboa Inn's right there. It's a nice little hotel to stay at. I've been there a couple times. But anyways, just a beautiful spot down here. It's nice, it's quiet in the non-season, but you do have the homeless living down here, and you've got issues with other bigger cities. Not as bad as like Venice or anything like that. There are probably a dozen people living down here. But anyways, share your thoughts on all this stuff. I know people are gonna freak out and say, I don't care about the government workers. Who cares? Let them pay their own way. They should have savings. They should be prepared. They should watch your channel, Dan. Anyways, it will be very interesting to see what happens. Here in California, the eviction ban ends on September 30th. And again, I've spoken to tenants, I have spoken to landlords this week, and they are, ready to start the eviction party. And a lot of these landlords are just angry at this point because they've not been given the money or caught a skim boarder. Anyways, he was really good. But they're angry right now at this point. So you're going to see on Friday the eviction festival start here you'll see it on the news, you'll see it everywhere. But here's one thing that's absolutely crazy with international things that we cover. And first things first, out of Germany, they voted to basically take landlords, private landlords, people that owned buildings, over 240,000 of these people, and have them be sold to the government. So they will not be owned by these private individuals. They will be owned by the government, and they have to sell. People voted for this. How? How is that fair, guys? How is that right? I don't even understand that. Okay? This guy's really good, okay? That's the skimboarding. Is you take this flat board that has nothing on the bottom and run it on the sand, really slick. Can you believe that? The privatizing or non-privatizing, just the theft of these buildings to the government, that they're going to take these buildings and take them away from the landlords. Now, I'm sure the average person thinks that they won't have to pay rent again, but this is awful. This is a bad precedent, and it will be interesting to see how this plays out for Germany and for other countries. So, Berlin is ecstatic about this, I guess. Here's a great article out of Business Insider. A woman out of Philadelphia, Michelle Chikanda, was trying to buy her first home. She went through 80 houses in 9 months, which I thought, okay, no big deal. But as I started to read the article, she talked about things that you should do and you shouldn't do when buying a house right now. And I thought, as I started reading this, was a great article, and I want to share it with you guys. First things first, if the price is too good to be true, it is. Okay, so stay away from that. Number two, if the house has been kicked out of escrow a bunch of times, stay away from that. If you interview realtors, don't take the first realtor you interview. Again, these people are negotiating the biggest deal of your life. You need to have somebody experienced when you do this. And the problem with it is that, what'd you do 5 years ago? What'd you do 2 years ago? And nothing wrong with hairdressers. I've said this before, and I've gotten hate mail galore from hairdressers that are now real estate agents. But I want someone who's been in the trenches. I want someone who was there in 2008 that saw, real problems and know how to negotiate things, because there is a lot of trouble coming. This guy's great, man. I'm getting all this footage of this guy. So anyways, the skimboarding's fantastic. But anyways, share your thoughts on this. Take a look at this. Is anybody out there looking to buy right now? Because what we're seeing is we drive by when there's a new listing and we write it down because I'm a psycho nerd. And then I sit there and see when it sold, how long it took. And then eventually when it closes, you can go to Zillow and find out what everything sells for. And you can find out if they got the asking price, above the asking price, or they got, $160,000 less. All the realtors I talk to right now say the kiss of death is coming, where you're starting to see price drops. The other thing that you're starting to see is older clients, older people that own their house free and clear, that want to get top dollar for the house, so they're financing the houses themselves. They're carrying the paper themselves. If you want to own a home, you can do this because they'll finance you directly, and you don't have to worry about dealing with the bank, and you're going to write Mr. and Mrs. Jones a check, but you're going to have to refinance at a certain point because they don't want to pay capital gains and all that crap right now. So share your thoughts, and if you guys are seeing that, curious, okay? Now, speaking of real estate, let's talk about rentals and rent. There's another great article out of Business Insider talking about rent is too high. Okay, guys, well, get used to it, because every landlord I talk to has said, never going to happen again. We're going to get top dollar for our places. We're going to get the best tenants. We're going to have no issues from today forward. That's what they've all told me. That's what they all want, of course. But the average rent here in the United States has gone up 13% in the last year. 13%. The average one-bedroom place right now has gone up 10.9% across the country. Okay? So, big problem, guys. Plus, you're seeing certain incentives and certain reductions that were given to people, like, hey, 1 month free, things like that. Better have cash for that. Better have gold credit. You better never have been evicted from someplace, because that is what's going to be required of you. I saw a place 3 months free rent if you pay a year in advance. So, again, the drag about this place is that this is right in the flight path of Orange County Airport. So you hear the plane. Imagine you've got your $7 million house over there, and you get to hear that every 12 minutes, 15 minutes. A plane flies over and takes off from John Wayne, but they have to fly really high, and they can't do it after 10 o'clock at night. But you still have to hear that because it's noticeable, to say the least. So share your thoughts about the rent. The landlords are fed up. The big landlords are not putting up with it. So got a lot of people out here fishing tonight. And again, I think it's kind of fitting with the stuff I'm talking about. It's kind of depressing. So as this stuff is happening, and we're supposed to swallow this big pill, and Jerome Powell, transitory, now it's going to moderate as far as inflation. You can't make this stuff up, but people are going through real tough times right now. And, the sun is not setting. It is, but there's just clouds. See all those dots out there? Those are all container ships right now that are backed up in Huntington Beach. I'm in the south end of Laguna Beach, but you can just see them still from here. There is something in the reconciliation bill that is absolutely crazy, and there is a proposal in this for unfair labor practices. Now, I'm not for unfair labor practices, but this will bankrupt and destroy many small businesses. If a small business is in violation of unfair labor practices, they can be fined now up to $50,000 per violation. So instead of having a trial, they can just be fined these figures, making fun of franchisees, talking to suppliers bad. I mean, all the stuff that's in this list. I'm going to share the story with you, but these type of things, they kind of curtailed them here in California, but this is going to be a real problem for people and for small businesses because they will not be able to navigate this. Larger companies have lawyers and labor, union, different lawyers like that. And also, let's say you have an employee that wants to start a union and you kind of discourage it, 50 grand, okay? So a lot of problems with this, but share your thoughts on this. I'll leave the story down there so you can get more details on it. But I always get a kick out of things like this because nobody pays attention to this, and then they've got 14 violations to the tune of 50 grand each. So share your thoughts on this and let me know what you think. I'm going to wrap these two stories into one. Robert Kaplan is a Fed chairman from Texas. He's going to step down October 8th, and you got to get a kick out of this. He said his stock trading, has been a distraction to doing his job. No, dude. Think about this. If you knew you had a boss who was incredibly wealthy and you saw this guy buying stock and you got tipped off as to what he was going to do and you could inside trade on that. Now, imagine that person is the federal government doing that, the Fed itself, okay? And you're buying what they buy, and now it's I love these words, distraction. No, this guy should be in jail right now is where this guy should be at. But that being said, he's going to step down because it's a distraction. Number two, we got the durable goods numbers for August up at 1.5%. They're saying it's great. But the problem is that just because people are ordering things, they're not taking delivery of them. And they're talking about Boeing getting orders for jets and things like that. But again, people are not taking delivery of the product, which says enough, okay? So share your thoughts on it. The story will be below as well. Doesn't this water look cold, guys? I mean, to me, it looks incredibly cold. I'm going to end this on this last story, and it's out of the BBC, where they're saying common food items may become luxury items, and that is coffee. Let me explain to you something about coffee and my relationship with coffee. I love coffee. I mean, I get up in the morning, I drink it. It is fantastic. It is the greatest thing ever. Early in the afternoon, like a day like today, I'm about to film. Oh gosh, you gotta have a good cup of coffee. So they're saying that could be a luxury item soon because of changing weather, climate changes. Meat may be a luxury item, which they've tried to shove that down our throats over the last year with all the fake stuff. That being said, spices, you may not be able to get certain spices. So read the BBC story. And again, I will buy a plantation and grow my own coffee if I have to for Dan. Okay, Dan's coffee. Anyways, that being said, share your thoughts on that, guys. Don't forget to hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. Share this with everybody. Also, two things. Webull promotion. If you'd like to get a Webull account, it is absolutely free. They will give you a free share of stock. If you put any money in the account, you get another free share of stock. If you need money for your business, Ironwood has got programs that are fantastic. Click on the link below. It's in the video description. If you've been in business as little as 3 months, you missed out on the PPP program, or even if you got a PPP program and you need additional money right now, take advantage of this because you can get money very quickly as 48 hours, and have a FICO score as low as 500. Onward and upward, guys. Just a gray, gloomy day, and lots of gray, gloomy stuff. So please share your thoughts, guys. We'll see you very soon.